Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League Split 1. I'm Blaze, joined with Colin today, and we are about to head into our second matchup. We just got done wrapping up Noble versus Oxygen, and Noble came away with a 3-1 victory and just, round by round, map by map, just picked Oxygen apart. But as we head over towards Pioneers versus eUnited in our next series, Colin, man, both these two teams, they got a lot of history playing against each other, and they got a lot of weight on their shoulders with their fans.
There's a lot of weight for both of these squads. Pioneers, they fell early in this split over to the side of Noble. eUnited, they fall early in this split as well. Both of them holding an L already, only looking better, though, since that loss. I think the thing that's going to be the difference maker in this one is the fact that it seems to me like right now, eUnited is grinding this game out. It's one of those situations where, speaking to these guys privately, you can tell they are putting in more reps now than they probably have in the last couple of seasons because they want to emerge as a dominant squad, and that could come back to haunt Pioneers tonight if they're not careful.
Yeah, it could be. It could haunt them for sure. Now, let's talk about the Pioneers and let's take a look at their roster. If you guys don't know, we got Precision, Xysho, Acells, and Hndles in the building. Your defending champions, a roster that's been looking to make history. Now, when it came down to the kickoff of this season, they took a loss to Noble, but from then on, they've been looking good, and they've been trying to build off of that. We've seen them stay undefeated there at E-Days and continue their reign, but when it comes down towards the Pro League, we'll see if they can bring that energy into this week.
Yeah, something that seems to haunt the Pioneers every now and again right now is the fact that they get a little loose. They hang 10. They're hoping a team will play against them. You know what I mean? They're hoping a team's going to try to just match them in the middle of a ring. And teams are smartening up to that. And every now and again, you see Pioneers kind of get caught off guard by that. We saw just last split, Xysho have to take a little bit more of a leadership role in the middle of a fight to try to pull some of his troops out of that fight, because you can't always rely on a guy like Precisions or Acell clutching up and getting 2-3 kills here or there. So this squad needs to prove to me that they can play that same level of defense and outsmart their opponents a little bit this time around.
Yeah, I agree with that one, because when it comes down to it, Pioneers, they just don't have to make it hard on themselves. Like, if their opponent does give them that fight early on, they win it, they'll probably be in a great spot controlling the tempo for the rest of the map. But when they do lose those battles and they're playing from behind, at that point, it just comes down to them, like you say, having the composure to be able to slow it down, get, rotate towards next a little bit early, and start setting up these battles in a way in which they want to fight them. Now, on the flip end, as we talk more about eUnited in this roster, I'll tell you one thing, when it comes down to two of our players in our league, okay, slaying, entry fragging, putting people on skates, that's TJ and Powers, all right? And so I'm expecting these guys to come up here with some big plays to really force Pioneers to give them all the respect in which they deserve. Now, Pioneers as a squad, as a team, they've been together longer. They got more accolades than this roster, but you cannot discount the skill of eUnited on an individual level. They all know what needs to get done.
And all of them have great individual skill, but that is the double-edged sword they find themselves wielding day in and day out. Granted, one side of that blade is oh so very sharp and can cut down opponents at a moment's notice. But the other side of that blade is just as sharp, and when eUnited falls, they do not play together. eUnited needs to stand united if they want to have a chance in this series, because if you go toe-to-toe with the Pioneers, you're playing into their game. eUnited needs to find themselves shooting for one another, playing closer together. They need to be reminiscent of the days of old when you saw teams around Kenny Bounce have the support fire, have that kind of mentality of, look, we're going to be one for all and all for one, and we're going to win these as a unit or lose as a unit.
And you know what? The two players who I'm looking to be selfless on this eUnited team to be able to make that one happen is going to be Kenny and Demise, right? Like, I don't have the stat sheet pulled up, but I promise you, man, I think Demise will be top 2 in damage when it comes down to this team based off the positions in which he play and how he supports the squad, okay? So Kenny's going to have to be flex. Demise, he's going to have to be an anchor in several portions of the map. And if they do that, they set the pace, they'll be in a great spot. But it comes down to their teamwork. That's what they're going to need to take down this Pioneers roster. And, we'll see what they can do. So when it comes down to it, we talked about it. Demise and his damage and how he's going to anchor for his squad. Well, who do we have to match him up against? It's going to be Xysho.
And right now, I'm going to throw this out there. Number 1 versus number 2 in overall KDA. Not just slaying out for yourself, but helping your team. It is the number 1 player in the Pro League versus the number 2 player. And for all those naysayers, all eyes on Xysho. They've got the credibility cams now. They're making sure nobody's doing anything shady, and the boy is still showing out. He's still proving that he doesn't just deserve to be on a championship team, but he deserves the victories he's earned, and they are putting people on notice, and that to me is the most impressive thing, that people knew that they were going to be under a microscope. And when you look at something under a microscope, you see all the blemishes, and all you can see right now is gold, baby.
And looking at those stats too as well. Like the one thing that stood out to me is that you got 1 and 2 in KDA for our league, okay? 2.64, 2.63. Now, when it comes down to Xysho and respawn execution, damn near top 5, both those categories. Demise, top 30, top 35 in his. Now, do you lean more into saying that, Demise's teammates are, just putting out more damage on the forefront of their fights, and, that's why his damage numbers are the way that they are. And, for the flipping end, Xysho, or it could just be he's hitting more shots. However you want to, tilt that in whoever scales, I would say one thing, both are playing at pretty much the same speed. Regardless of how much damage they have to put on those players, those numbers show a lot of awareness being number 1, number 2 when it comes down to KDA, always knowing where the fight's going to be. So let's take a look at our maps and figure out where our fights are going to be across our 5-game series. We're kicking this one off with Regency Control, a map picked by the Pioneers, followed by Ephyra Execution, Vasgar Escalation, Speyer Control, and Tomb Execution. The one thing that stands out to me, I think we got 2 great control maps in this series, and that Vasgar is going to tell us a lot about, who's probably going to pull away with this series.
Pioneers go with the tried and true Regency, but we have seen eUnited put people on absolute notice on that map. This map 1 is going to be tightly contested, if you ask me. This should be one of the best Regencies we've seen in a while, whether it be from a dominating victory of either of these teams or just coming down to the wire, 300 to 290 something. That is going to be great. eUnited, they go away from checkout. They now put in that Ephyra, something that we've seen TJ be an absolute menace on the map in the middle of it there. So eUnited's looking at this as, hey, look, we're either going to be 1-1 or 2-0 because they've got to feel great about that Ephyra execution. The worry for me is the back half of this rotation. Neither of these teams are great at Speyer. I'm sorry, I'm calling it like it is. I've seen both of them get absolutely embarrassed on this map before. So it almost looks like eUnited went to the craps table and said, we're letting it ride on black right now. We're going to throw the dice in the middle and hope we can come away with a dub before we got to get to that map 5. That is going to be an interesting map pick for me going into this one. This could get very close, and this could be on a knife's edge most of the time.
It is going to be on a knife edge most of the time. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to distance and get to a map 5 with both these squads. For the Pioneers, I feel like when it comes down to this team and their mindset, after losing, in week number 1, towards Noble in that series, it was a close one too. I believe 3-2 series there. But from that point on, in all their matchups from E-Days to the league, they're starting to look like that defending championship squad that we saw under that VQ banner last season. So they will continue to build off of that. Now, on the flip end, eUnited, they put a smackdown on Oxygen yesterday. Even if it wasn't a full roster, they showed that, you're going to have to, be at full strength if you want to take us down. Now, this team as a whole, and I will say that I would have been a little bit shaken if that Oxygen roster would have, contested them a little bit more with the goals in which this eUnited team is trying to accomplish. This matchup against the Pioneers is going to be one of their biggest tests of the league, and I'm actually kind of happy that they're having a little bit early on, or they get to get this matchup out the way and start building off everyone else. So far, eUnited's only loss coming to Rise. That was 3-2. That was close. And this Pioneers one, if they can win this, I actually, Pioneers, when it comes down to their rankings, I don't see them, kind of falling in the top 3 at that point.
No, they're going to definitely be feeling good about themselves, getting a dub over eUnited. And eUnited, to me, again, this to me almost looks like, and I know nobody would want to hear this, and I especially don't want to hear it as an excuse, but I look at some of these matchups that eUnited is taking, and they're continuously changing positions, changing spots, changing strats. They're playing week to week, playing their opponent, which to me almost says that they're looking a little past Pro League, saying, look, Major's coming up. We've got it right there in the early part of December. Let's figure out exactly who's excelling where and who's playing the hottest, and we'll run with that when the big money's on the line. And if we pick up a whole bunch of wins come Pro League, great, grand, fantastic, awesome. But for right now, I've seen them give enough looks to different teams that makes me feel like they're in this to win this in the long run. They're not trying to win a couple battles. They're trying to win the war.
And that's what it's all about, winning the war. And, think about squads who actually intentionally prepare for winning the war. Some teams will, try to go super hard at the start of the league. They show their entire hand and they may get gassed out towards the back end of the Pro League coming towards the major. But they shouldn't be, right? Because if you think about it like this, and eUnited does it best, and this is what I'm alluding to, that eUnited in their preparation for the event, it starts at the beginning of Pro League. Yes, they want to finish out on top. Yes, they want a good seed going into it, but it's about correcting your mistakes. Okay, where did you fall in the last week? Go to practice, fix that, change up the strategy going to next week. If it works, cool, go on to the next. But it is a process, and you want to be able to peak and start having your best games towards the end of the league.
Yeah, without a doubt, too. And I think one of the things that, to me, also is going to speak volumes for this eUnited team, especially going forward, is think about their coaching staff. I know we haven't talked a lot about coaches since we've really solidified ourselves online for a little over a year at this point.
Yeah.
But think about the coaching staffs that put so much time and work in behind the scenes. They've got a guy in Rubik's who used to work with the Elevate squad. Way back in the day, he used to be on the European side of things, and he actually brought to LAN a lot of looks that these NA teams weren't ready for. That's always in the back pocket. That's always something to think about. Is Rubik's going to give them a strategy that nobody's prepared for, nobody's seen, because he's still got a lot of boys across the pond, and they've got a former world champion and one of our most storied players in history who brings the swag and swagger that just like nobody else can in sleepy time.
Yeah.
That is a dangerous duo as a coaching staff, if you ask me. The Pioneers, they're no slouches with their coaching staff. I just think I'm looking a little bit forward for eUnited. I'm trying to think about the back end for them, because right here, right now, there's a chance that eUnited comes into this and they just try to punch out with the Pioneers, and we don't really see the best game out of them. We try to see them play hero ball, and they kind of get hot and cold, and it doesn't really work out for them. They kind of freeze over eventually, and it doesn't work out the way that they might want and get that afterburn going.
And, the first map is really going to tell us, I think, the tale of that tape when it comes down to how much respect they're going to be giving the Pioneers in these opening fights, right? Are they going to be challenging these fights, get loose on Regency, and see if they can really just be aggressive and get the lead to kick this series off? Or is the Pioneers going to just slow it down and force eUnited to have to play heel from heel? Now, with that being said, we can head into our predictions. These two. Who kicked it off last time? Was it me? Was it me?
That was me. You go first.
Oh, it was you? Okay. I go first. Pioneers and eUnited, man, for me, something that I saw cast at E-Days with Taylor last week, watching his Pioneers team, I love what I saw from them, okay? I loved how they played up on everyone that they went up against, got to the finals, took the dub, and, continue their 7 streak. Outside of that Noble series in which we watched them play in that map 5 and they lost, they have been slowly coming back to form. And even though this eUnited team, I think it's a great roster, I still think they need more time, and they're going to be getting better week in and week out. And with that being said, I'm going for the Pioneers in this series.
Ooh-wee, you put your money where your mouth is. You know what you want. I love that out of you, Blaze. You go with the Pioneers, you pick them, you put it down for them. You say, look, they're going to come out strong. I love that from you. I love that kind of confidence.
Yep.
I spent a lot of time looking at this situation. I said, who am I going to pick? Because everybody knows. I mean, these are like my kids out here. These 8 players, this is like picking between like my firstborn and my secondborn. I don't know if I can do this, but the more I looked at it, the more I looked at these strats and these stats, I said to myself, I've got to go with one team. There's only one team I can pick. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put my eggs in the basket of...
Ooh. Of what?
What do you mean? I'm putting my eggs in the basket.
Every time he goes to say it, I don't know if he's cutting out for y'all.
Hey, my mic is working perfectly. Everything's working fine over here. We're fine. I hope you're good, because I'll say it for a third time. For all of you at home that didn't hear me the first 2 times, I am going to...
All right. Colin's pick is in, and he's going with... Now, chat, who do you guys want to go with? We're going to need somebody to go 50-50 with us, okay? Chat, you're thinking eUnited, you're thinking Pioneers. Where are you guys leaning towards? Pioneers, all right? Ooh, regardless of wherever Colin goes, he's dead split between both these teams.
What do you mean dead split? I gave you my pick. I don't know what you mean by dead split.
All right, Colin's pick is in the books. We're gonna have to get a referee to get that one on the cast predictions to figure out how does that one tilt. Because I'm gonna need me a question mark pick at some point. All right,
I don't know. But
Colin, let me tell you this though.
I put my money where my mouth is. I don't know why there's question marks. You heard me say it 3 times. You heard me say it 3 times, everybody.
And that was.
You heard me say.
I'm gonna reach your lips this time.
4 times. I am gonna go with.
He said eUnited.
What?
He said eUnited.
Oh.
He said eUnited. Hey, you know what? Producer knows, though. Producer knows. And, we'll figure it out sooner or later as we get the lobby started. But, but Colin, on the flip end, tell me this, though. Okay?
All right.
Why are you, like, right here? Like, you're, like, you're between them both. You don't know which side you want to go towards, The Pioneers, they've been looking great, defending champions these last few weeks. They've been awesome. This eUnited team's been getting better. But, I feel like with you, it's something that's in this eUnited roster where you feel like they have been making a progress over these last few days, and you feel like they can take this series, but you just don't want to go all in.
They both suffer from the same disease. They both decide to play hero ball. That's why I'm right there in the middle, because the first team to get flustered is the first team to lose this series. They both in the past have shown me that at times when the going gets tough, somebody tries to muscle up, make a play, they get shot on, taken down. It sends the rest of them into chickens with their head cut off syndrome. I've seen it happen multiple times, and I'll call them out. I'm not mad. Even if they're mad at me, they know it comes from a place of love. I've seen Powers do it on multiple occasions. I've seen Demise do it on multiple occasions. Even with that great KDA, he puts himself forward of his position, gets himself killed, and doesn't come away with anything. Flip end on Pioneers, I've seen Acells and Precision do it to his team. So I need those 4 guys to stay within themselves and make sure that they give us the best possible game. Stand united if you want to win this one, if you're eUnited. And if you're the Pioneers, you better circle the wagons.
All right, guys, you heard it here. Colin, he's looking for straight teamwork out of everybody. No one player stepping in front of the other, saying that you don't got to do it alone, but you got to do it as a squad if you want to come out with this victory. Acells, Precision, Powers, Demise, and get it in check as we are all locked in. It's the Pioneers versus eUnited. Map number 1, Regency. Chat, let us know who you going for. Let's get it popping. Kicking this one off. McKinney bounce himself with a 1-2 and a Lancer here towards the middle. It's going to be eUnited with first points on the heel, but with a few downs and a pinch here towards screen right. They're going to lose a player in Powers and no kill acquired. Easily, the Pioneers can get back into this heel, but Kenny taking an advantageous angle, gets a down, a kill, goes out wide, forces the fight deep, but will he have help from his teammates? The flank is in. Well timed.
That is going to be one of the better retakes out of the Pioneers. Playing it slow, coming into that position late, but eUnited, I mean, just the way they're able to fight off those last few players. Kenny doing his best getting that up A after the double bounce. Even though he gets taken down, he buys his team enough time to rotate back into the fight, play out those last two players, and make sure that they get that kill. That hill, and they're pushing across the middle of the map. Kenny, though, that's a big turnaround onto Hndles. That headshot will get them onto the right side of the map, get them into a position to possibly take over the next hill and the close spawn. All four players from the Pioneers, though, in the same area. Kenny tries to go over, shot over the top, won't be able to get it, but Powers with a frag, answers with one. Now 3 left. They're getting angled out left, right, and center. Pioneers, they're getting shot on early in this one, and eUnited, they're on to a commanding start.
Yeah, Egghead definitely has the Pioneers scrambling across the map, trying to get rotated up for next, but it's eUnited who will have the back spawns to their advantage. You're going to see Kenny 5-1-1, almost 4K damage, leading the charge, but with that rotation down low, even though they get their spawns, they were not able to rotate back up in time to get set up on a hill, so they put themselves in the same position that the Pioneers was in, but they just have to win their fights. Kenny misses 2 back A's. He's going to rotate around, try to get a different look to help TJ kill cleaned up. 2v2, Kenny Powers, with Powers going down, a Pioneers reset. Kenny's going to be in a 1v2. The smoke is not going to do much. It will keep him alive for now, but help is on the way. So far, the Pioneers get a majority of this hill.
Remember what I said, by the way, earlier in this Pro League split, when I talked to Kenny on Sidebar, he said he has to play phenomenal for his team to win. He's 6-1 right now already, and even though he was down, he bought enough time for his team to get back into the fight, get into that area, and be able to save him. He still has only got 1 death to his name at this point. They've got the last few points on this hill, and they're rotating across the map. The Pioneers have to not only come across the Rose Garden and play the bad side and play the bottom side, but they don't have the short spawn, so anybody that dies from the Pioneers are going to have to fly back across the map.
Yo, man, I don't know why, but somebody says, something tells me that if the Pioneers is dying this moment, somebody would spawn couches and this setup would be all crazy, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with Powers rotation back. He'll have to defend the back spawn, but he has to know that he is giving up his entire flank. eUnited commits both their nades to the forefront of this fight. Hndles puts himself in a prime position to just disrupt eUnited's entire setup. He almost came away with 2 kills there, but ultimately with his distraction, his team has gotten back in the hill to have that position to get this lead back in their favor. And eUnited, they don't want that to happen. They don't want their morale to sit between their fingers after having such a great start. A nice cleanup from Powers, misses his rat, misses his back A, but there's help. The kill's cleaned up, and eUnited can get reset unless Hndles absolutely goes on a tear, but he will not. But this initial will continue.
And there's still 45 seconds.
But it's another fight.
I was going to say, there's a ton of time left on this hill. They swap the close spawn. Demise will have the angle here. And Demise is going to be able to disrupt the retake from the Pioneers. Acells hits a big body shot onto him, but not enough to get the down. They turn around, get the down on him, and I think Hndles went for the cleanup instead of staying in the fight with his teammates. Hndles turns, gets the kill, finishing. Now Kenny's all by himself in a 3v1, slides into the cover, but gets taken out. TJ will have the M-bar here and have a big first shot onto Acells. Any body shot here, 1 pellet was all it took. He hit the back shoulder blades of Acells and took him down.
Man, he juked him out. He did a little step to the right to force the Acells shot over the top because he knew he was going to do it, and he pre-fired. Beautifully timed. Only need a little bit of damage on him. Got that kill safely, protected the M-bar. 12 seconds of scrap left. Now, even when you have this much scrap time, this is perfect to make a play, because even if you initiate a fight right now, you may have time to rotate and get set up for another one without giving up too much map control. That's going to be 2 more kills coming in for eUnited. They know where the last 2 are. It's Acells and Precision here at the back of Statue. They actually get 2 and make it a 2v2 to even the odds. I did not think they were going to get any kills there in that situation. Powers, he goes down. Acells takes out Kenny, and Kenny, well, Acells tried to take out Kenny. Kenny gets a huge double kill. He's looking for the triple. He gets that.
Kenny right there threw he threw the trap nade. If he gets enough damage on one of those players, he can actually force them back into the nade that he originally threw. He ends up getting the double kill after the player up A's right into his Nasher, and now you see eUnited just holding onto this front side of the spawn, putting every bit of pressure onto the Pioneers as they come out of this right side. Powers throws the flash, gets one, goes down to the second. Acells has to roll back. Acells started this map kind of shaky. He's crawling back into it with 8 and 9. But he really started off slow, and I think that you can kind of accredit that to the slow start of the Pioneers. 35 seconds left on this. You know they want to go for this kind of neutralization setup. They want to be able to either get these kills or just keep this hill in their favor, and I like that from them. They're going to get these kills, and they're going to stay here for probably 15, 20 seconds, and they're going to rotate out toward this next rotation. They're toward this next hill. Kenny will be set up here. He's going to have the back spawn area with Demise. They're going to call out the Lancer angles. They're going to get long angles here as well. Any damage put out onto these players is good damage. Smoke is going to come out, blinding up that first angle. TJ is keeping the hill neutralized in the middle. And I love the turnaround, the quick, easy cleanup, the quick, easy kill. And I believe Acells might have some shots left in that M-bar. That will be an interesting fight to watch as he comes into these late portions. Kenny with one cleanup, though. Powers! He's going to get killed off, and now Kenny's taken down as well. They need to kill off Demise and try to take over this close spawn area. But Demise is exactly his namesake and is the decimation of 2 players.
Now with eUnited they're not going to have numbers on his side of the map with the Demise going down and that back spawn being in a Pioneer's favor just that quickly. They're back up to a full squad, and Demise having a lone rotation. Multiple M-bar shots missed, but TJ knowing that he can't give up his position. I love for him going for the down, but it was a risk. Kenny saw the play there for his teammate, knowing that Xysho was the target. He's cleaned up. TJ there for Kenny. eUnited, they charge for it. They get aggressive. They find more kills. And now in the moment, it's a 4v2 situation. eUnited clears out the back spawn. Precision almost came out with 2, but eUnited should be able to set themselves. They're currently getting pinched from multiple sides, but TJ gets a flank spawn. He's going to be able to distract 2, cuts off Hndles' route, and he's going to keep his squad in a great position with all the intel.
You see Acells trying to get the shot over the top onto Powers. Won't be able to get the first one to go, so they're going to continue their course of mayhem down across the bottom of the map, rotating into the top now. They're rotating toward that next hill, leaving 20 seconds on that hill. Smart play here. They're leaving 1 player back. Demise is basically live an amazing, die an okay. It doesn't matter. Whatever you pull off here is good enough for us, because every single second point here will continue to get us closer to that 100-point club. TJ, big play there, but a double kill with the frags from Hndles. And now Hndles playing a little bit of a defensive play there over the M-bar, making sure nobody was close enough to challenge him before he picks it up. Good job there. But 3 players from eUnited are going to play through the backside of the map, and they know that at least 1 player from eUnited is going to be coming up from that shock grenade as they are now calling players out, intel gathering. This will be a big retake attempt by eUnited. Every shot on counts for Hndles in this situation.
Incoming flash!
Now eUnited, as they start to rotate towards the back of the spawn, they're going to identify the 2-2. Hndles with 1 nade in hand. 6 shots at the M-bar. Now 5. Now 4. Demise finds a kill on the inside stairs of Acells. That's going to give a clear advantage to eUnited. But Hndles with a beautiful nade traps 2. M-bar in hand. Oh my God. Imagine he lines them both up with a collat. Talk about clip of the year. Didn't go for the shot. Too bad. Ultimately, it's going to be the Pioneers who are able to clean house and chill out now on the couches as they're starting to rack up the time. With about, I can't see the amount of scrap time that's left, but it should put them towards the lead. Kenny, 17 kills, 7 assists. He is the most lethal player in this lobby, but the one thing that I noticed is that the rest of his squad is, pretty much even or negative. He's going to need some more production there, at least out of TJ Powers and Cohen. As I talk them up, look at that kill feed. They says, don't worry, Blaze. We know.
And I like what I see out of the rest of eUnited. They are playing more together. They're playing more controlled in this situation. And you see what they're able to do where they're over-rotating early. They're ensuring that nobody's trying to get across the map, maybe go for a sneak angle or a little side angle here. And next hill is going to spawn in another 3 or 4 seconds here. They just got to be patient. They have a good angle in the backside of the Rose Garden, and now they've got Kenny playing up here. They will be able to lancer out anybody that comes out of that big door. A long-range smoke to the back of the Rose Garden, and now a shock will come out, excuse me, stopping Precision from coming into the hill to go for that retake or go for that neutralization. Kenny with one frag, bounces it back at himself, I think, and he throws the other one over toward where we saw Precision earlier. Gets the kill onto him. That's a big trade. 3v3 on the map right now. Kenny playing here against Xysho in the middle of the map. Xysho bouncing into the hill. Gonna go for the 2v1 here onto Powers. You see Acells miss the knife. Acells miss the knife. Oh! By eUnited Powers and Kenny, the only two undefeated Season 1 Gears 5 players when it came to majors, do it again.
Man, I am just seeing Kenny and all his ambition here on this hill. The way he is picking up kill after kill. He ain't trying to give this one up. He knows the statement in which he can make in a league if eUnited comes out with this series. And my God, have they just been electrifying here at the Rose Garden. You would have thought it was the Rose Bowl with all this carnage and the plays being made left and right. But Hndles finds one. Hndles finds two. 19 seconds left on the hill. But eUnited, they've already eclipsed that 200-point marker, and they're set up at next. Demise says, I can get a double as well.
This is absolutely gorgeous from eUnited. This is the kind of start they needed. This is why I said that they picked the second map that they ended up going with, because they either see it as a 1-1 if things don't go for them well on this map, or they see it as a 2-0 if they can come away clean sweep in this map. They're going to be a tough and tall task for the Pioneers here if they cannot come back into this map. Up over 220 points now. 65 seconds to go. That's a 280 situation. That's almost unbearable. That's almost no way to come back. That's purgatory for most teams.
Ooh,
Kenny playing back. Kenny playing back. Gets one. Kenny goes for a second back A, but he's going to go down. Demise revving up the M-bar. Sees Xysho bouncing around in front of him. Multiple man push from the bottom side of the map here. This is going to get difficult as eUnited has a 1v1 to the top side and a 3v3 at the bottom of Demise. He takes his eyes off the prize, gets one, bouncing in, almost gets the second, but goes down. And here we see the retake from Pioneers trying to be strong, but eUnited once again standing united, up over 250 points now in this map number 1.
And it's only going to be Hndles and Acells around this hill. We will be seeing another soon as they are trying to work that back spawn, but both players having a reload, and actually one will be down. Hndles taken out, 2 more kills coming through for eUnited. And here in the late game, they're feeling comfortable. It's a race to gold. It's going to be Precision and Demise who may meet up with each other first. But Precision will, Precision, no, that's Demise who will hold the back spawn. He's just going to rotate on over towards the right. Precision has made it to the hill first, but he needs to fight for this position in the back while he has some time. eUnited right where they want to be. They need to be careful of the flank because Hndles knows his role. Uh-oh, Powers. He's caught slipping. That's a lot of shots. A lot of damage. Hndles knows he has to play aggressive while he has Powers on the ropes, but Powers pulls out his pistol. Some extra help in the middle. Did Kenny down his own teammate? I think he did, in probably respect of knowing that he can get the revive. Maybe I'm thinking too high level on it, but I wouldn't put it past them. In the end, it is eUnited with the spawn.
And Pioneers right here with 184 points, they've got to be careful. They're down. They only have 29 points that they can give up at this point in this matchup before they lose map number 1. Powers is going to get pulled up on just a little bit. Decent amount of damage onto him. Powers takes another shot. 4 to go. Big body shot on his Xysho. Trying to aim up the second one. Misses it. Here comes Acells for the head down and the attempted chunk. Not going to be able to get anything. And that is a clean sweep. eUnited. They get 4 kills here. And they send Pioneers to the respawn. And I hate to say it, Blaze, but I think that is all she's said and done for this map number 1. Pioneers maybe have one more attempt to even get a neutralization, but they gotta be perfect. 6 seconds to go. There it is. Xysho runs to the backside. 2 more come in, but TJ gets an easy chunk. Precision.
They got it.
All that's left in the
got the
fight.
neutral.
But we will have to go to the next
Player
hill.
8 didn't rotate fast enough. Like, at the end of the day, player 8 just needs to say, you know what? I'm going to rotate and just hope that you guys win the fight. It was a tall task at the end of the day. And with that being said, eUnited will strike first on map number 1 by an amazing performance from Kenny. Almost dropped a 4.0 KDA, 23 kills, 11 deaths, 16 assists, and 20k damage. in that map number 1 to lead eUnited to victory.
Without a doubt, what a huge map for Kenny in that first one, playing big, playing huge, and that's what they need. Kenny has to kind of go into Slayer mode. He's got to go old school on him and put people on notice if eUnited want to have a chance at winning a bunch of these games. And when he's popping off, when he's playing well, it shows in dividends. It allows Powers, TJ, Demise, all to play much more free, much more outside of themselves, and they can get a little loose and play a little hang 10 because they're going to be fantastic positions because Kenny's killing everybody. That is the difference maker in that map number 1. We saw just how long Kenny was staying alive in some pretty bad situations, and even him and Powers overcoming some even worse ones. eUnited, they played together, and they win map number 1 as a solidified unit.
As they had to, Colin, they really needed it. And we saw that, right? You know, granted, they had help from a lot of big individual plays being made by Kenny off the start, but that's great. You know, we know this team can always make some big individual plays. And I would say that I personally put a lot of that weight on TJ and Powers because of the weight in which they are used to having on their shoulders in that slaying role for the squad. So when we see Demise and Kenny have big maps, boy, usually that means that this eUnited team, they ain't playing around and they're looking like they're at their best. And so I felt like we kind of saw that in this map, but at the end of the day, it was a team effort and they all will shine every now and then. And when it comes down to it, the Pioneers, they found themselves down early in this map. The eUnited did not let them get that confidence back, if you ask me.
And they've got to keep them on the ropes. eUnited has to keep them down at this point because letting them back into the fight is going to give Pioneers confidence. And when you give guys with that kind of swagger confidence, it becomes bad news bears for you. Something I want to throw out here is throughout a lot of portions of that map, the number one thing I was afraid of for either of these teams started to show up for the side of the Pioneers. Right there at the end, 3 players slide into the smoke. I mean, they're just running head first. They got to go for that decap right there. You saw it in that final highlight. The player that got one shot had Lancer out still. Wasn't prepared for any fight that might be in the hill stopping him. Those are the kinds of plays that will get you killed and get you a big L.
Yeah, a big L indeed. Now, this one right here, 300 to 200 in favor of eUnited. It was a very, very competitive map, but now we need to move on over towards Ephyra. And Colin, as I've heard you say beforehand, eUnited on Ephyra, some of the best that we got in the league.
eUnited on Ephyra should strike Ephyra into the hearts of all their competitors.
I like
TJ
that.
has become a monster in the middle. He's a Brian Urlacher type middle linebacker, a Ray Lewis, if you will. Whoever you want to go with, pick your poison, choose your taste. That man, when he plays the hotel spot, is better than anybody else on the planet. I have yet to see somebody manipulate both his own teammates and his opponents the way that I have seen TJ play, where if he all of a sudden realizes he's got a damage output increase, he goes straight to the porch. He knows that guy's going to back off. He doesn't want to lose his 1v. He goes to the porch window, gets those shots on out to the outside in that parking lot. And if he loses his 1v or if he starts losing, instead of giving up an angle, he tries to fly bottom. He gives his teammate a chance to rotate around the map to play up on that torque bow down low. TJ, to me, every step he makes is calculated. That man he's playing 4D chess at this point on that map.
And, when it comes down to players who play that middle position, here on Ephyra or any of our other execution maps, giving you guys some examples, rather if you're playing middle on Tomb, you're playing secondary on Checkout, or if in Canals, you're playing there towards the mid-bridge torque bow area. When you play those spots, you got to go into it knowing, what you need to do off your initial if you're fighting your 1v1. And that player is going to give you several different looks. And right away, you assist that, okay, he's in a position in which I can challenge him for a fight in which I'm comfortable in, I'll take it. Or you'll say that, he's in a defensive spot. You assess that right away. You go towards your second objective, right? Go to the sandbag, throw some shots down the middle, help your teammate out, try to find a quick 2v1 for your squad to capitalize on, and then come back to your fight after that. TJ very rarely will be dictated by somebody else off the start of the fight. If you kill him, You killed him making your move and challenging him, but very few times he's going to stop what he's doing because of how somebody's set up, because he's already got the whole thing thought out.
I'm going to sound enamored with this man after I tell you this breakdown. Against Rebel, it was 4 rounds in a row. You talked about mid players or players playing secondary or up on the snipe in certain maps. Those players having multiple looks that they can give their opponent. When they played Rebel in one of the qualification weeks, TJ in round 1 flew at that mid pillar, the little statue right there in the middle of the hotel.
Yeah.
Raver challenged him and went for a wrap, and TJ hit a back A on him from just hit him with the whole apartment complex. Second round, Raver played back, so TJ went straight to the sandbag and Lancered outside. He knew that his aggression made Raver think twice.
Scared. Yeah.
Third round, Raver's going to play back up, not let you get the angle. So TJ played low, got that first shot on like a little reaction shot, and then played low onto the opponent and gave a 2v1 to his teammate down low. He gave him 3 out of 3 looks, and then fourth round went with a different one. Those are the types of things those players can do to just make your opponent miserable. It's a rainy day in London. It's every day for him, but it feels like a bad day for you. Those are the things that those guys can make you have happen to you.
It really is. Now, we talked a lot about TJ coming into this map. We'll see if his last name is actually Estamont and if he owns this hotel or not. On the flip end, the boys of the Pioneers down 1 map in this series. Now is the time in which they typically start to get better. And if you don't believe me, go check out the youtube.com/UMGgears. We got all the VODs and the documents and receipts you need to be some of the best analysts in the game. But now we kick this one off. It's Acells and TJ here towards the middle. TJ cuts out wide to bait out the fight. Acells knows he wants to play off his left. Does not want to give TJ the predictable fight of the right. He's going to have to take a hard battle if he wants to win this one, but he calls for help, and they get the jump on TJ in the middle. First blood comes through for the Pioneers.
And there you see with the Pioneers getting 3 out of the 4 kills, and now Hndles is going to play back, and Powers is going to step out and let this first round go to waste. And this is one of those situations where a team like eUnited, with a guy like Kenny and now TJ, who got brought along quickly when he was playing under the tutelage of both him and Explosive, they're going to be able to make a change. They are going to be able to talk this out and force somebody to make a miss, force somebody to do something different. And that's what's going to make them very interesting here in the second round. I want to see what they do.
All right, now we head here towards round number 2. We're seeing a near even break from both of our squads. The one spawns 1 and 2, choosing different areas to kind of rotate towards. But as TJ gets backed up, Acells applies the pressure, gets the first blood once again. And in this round, as the Pioneers, they take their numbers, but are they going to keep them? Powers does his best, but Kenny gets lost on opposite end, did his best in a 1v2. Now it's going to be Powers with a twerk bow in hand. We'll see how he can clutch up against Xysho in a drop shot. Oh, he hits that second shot. He's in there.
Yeah, without a doubt, he has another little opportunity if he can just hit that second shot. And this is just this is real quick. This is for notation. This is notation for you and I.
Yes.
We have officially seen it in chat. Somebody,
I saw it.
Bleach for brains. Blaze needs to stand up so we can see his shirt. So I guess after map 2 and after the break, you and I are gonna have to put on a little fashion show because we matched today.
Oh yeah, we matched today from head to toe. We'll get that for you guys and we'll put on a show. Now, in here in his map number 2 is going to be TJ, who completely changes up his position to help out Powers. They get a quick twerk bow, but the drop shot isn't picked up just yet, as you're going to see a kill come through for Kenny on precision. Xysho's finally able to get the rocket. Powers in trouble. Acells finds a kill before going to the grave. Twerk bow backpack, only power weapon in the hands of KCP. This is doable. They get 1, they get 2, 1v1 Xysho. Kenny, he threads it and misses.
Now you see Kenny over the top. Xysho gets the first shot off, but Kenny, he plays right back up into him and gets the kill. First round on the board for eUnited. They are going to do their best to fight back into this one. They need to win another one, though, just to tie it up. But that took a Herculean effort out of Kenny just to win that first round for eUnited.
And I will say this too as well, you know, looking back on that round, Xysho kind of thought Kenny was going to escape and run down the stairs. He wasn't expecting a quick cutback, but Kenny knew that he wanted to win a fight with the element of surprise, while his opponent was still like in his little slight Mr. Crab moments of the sudden death. You know, those are the best opportunities to take fights. Don't give your opponent time to think and come up with a play. Be ready to strike at all times. As we're here in round number 4, look at the mini map, several different 1v1s, but where's the opening going to happen?
Xysho versus
Acells
Kenny.
takes out TJ again.
And now Kenny has to kind of play this fight against Xysho because they know that they have the man advantage somewhere. Double bounce in, tries to get the shot around the cover, doesn't get it. Demise tries to play up on Acells and goes down as well. Powers last alive for his squad. Oh, please tell me he plays this out. I would love to see him. I mean, I don't even care if it's Secret Agent, man. I want to see this man.
Oh, he gets called.
I was going to say, I want to see this man try to get like 1 or 2 kills just to make it interesting. Just to try to throw somebody off.
Yeah, we see that he tried to do it. He definitely did, but Powers knowing that they can't get anything going because the amount of first bloods that came through for the KCP Pioneers is every single round on TJ. 4 in a row. 4 in a row. They haven't messed up. Now, granted, I did see them credited for, I think I only saw them credited for 3, so I forgot where that 4th one came through for eUnited. But regardless, as we're here in this round, Acells with an early flash, gonna move up, double back, 2, well, at least 1 solid shot. He gets him on a 3rd. He gets first blood again on TJ.
Now Hndles with Lancer out, gets another down, and Pioneers dominating this map number 2 right now, up 3-1, looking to try to go up 4-1, 2v1, last 2 alive for the Pioneers and Acells. I mean, that's one of those situations where you're basically looking at Precision like, I'm going to get the re on you, but I'm also going to watch you fall to pieces here in just a moment. So and Precision's like, what do you mean fall to pieces? He's like, nothing, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
stand up,
don't
stand
worry
up,
about
take
it
this shot.
All right. Here we go. Colin, I don't know what is TJ going to have to do this round, but, you know, we gassed him up. We talked about him being able to switch up from time and time again, and I think TJ has been doing it, but Acells feels like he has a winning strategy. He's 9-1-1. He has been setting the pace of this map. You're going to see a quick rotation down low. It's eUnited who wants to play heavily towards the torque bow. That means that Kenny has to play his life at the top portion of the map as he's retreating back. No drop shot in the hands of the Pioneers just yet. Demise gets first blood on Acells. Drop shot picked up finally. Torque bow kill, but Powers, he finds 2. It's up to Xysho in a 1v3 with 2 shells remaining.
And this is doable here. 2 rockets in the pocket and an active is just, it's a big time moniker. I think he saw a little bit of movement there. He might have to go for a trick shot over the top. Something to try to get that kill quickly onto Demise. Let's see if he can do it here because it looks like they know where he is. They're trying to play out on him. Look at the way they're holding the 90s. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no.
Yeah, they saw him. Okay, if he got first blood on Demise, I would have been so surprised. That would have been a kill, but instead he gets tagged up by Powers. Not even able to use the drop shot there. And eUnited, they took their time. They gave Xysho the respect in which he deserved. And, you know, they will close out that round. So they get another one on the board. Let's see if they can do it again. Now, I will say this: eUnited's adjustment in that last round was saying, "Hey, TJ, just go push out the player in back alley, allow Powers to get the bow, and let him work the rest of the map." Now, we'll see if eUnited wants to shift their numbers there towards the drop shot area of the map, but they probably respect the Pioneers' gameplay in open terrain like that, and they want to keep this one stacked towards the torque bow side. We'll see what happens. Demise is going to come play up with his duo. Hndles will do the same as well. Precision will do the same. It's going to be a drop shot in favor of the Pioneers once again. And Acells is doing a great job stopping his bow from getting picked up. They're going to rotate the drop shot in time to stop it. The timing is going to work out. A blind shot over the top. The splash damage enough for 1. And the Pioneers will find another first blood.
And look at the angle from Demise. He was up on that ledge. He can't help in a CQC fight, but he had some Lancer shots over the top. TJ is bouncing around here. All 3 players from the Pioneers have now mounted up down low. Xysho looking for 1, finds it, pulls that drop shot back out in moment if he wants, but he's going to get a bunch of damage there on TJ. TJ 1-6 has really struggled this map. He can get his team a big couple of kills here if he can get either one. Drop shot over the top, gets him to about 90%, and then a little couple of pellets. Demise challenge. Yo, challenge him. Challenge him with the. Oh, I wanted to see a chainsaw back.
Don't we all? You know, especially for us old heads. You know, chainsaw battles was the coolest thing on the internet. Okay, didn't no video game have chainsaw battles in Gears 1. You know, holds a very special place in our hearts. Acells, he is 10-2-2 after 7 rounds on Ephyra. eUnited, I respect their adjustments throughout the map, and they're trying to get it done. I will say, during that last round, Acells should not be able to cross down into that back alley the way that he was, with eUnited's strategy being designed to get that torque bow. They allowed the drop shot to rotate all the way around the map, and that just can't happen without them coming away with a power weapon. They got to be more decisive in that round, but hey, can you blame them? The Pioneers, another first blood with eUnited's against the ropes. They don't know what to do. TJ will win a battle against the Acells at the hotel, but now Hndles, he's going to get jumped. Quick rotation from TJ to make sure his squad can have a 2-2.
Look at this, though. It's flipped on its head.
With a power weapon.
I think what you have here is a position for eUnited to try to take back this round here. Even though the first blood came out for the Pioneers, eUnited's got their forces spread. They have an ability to kind of see where the players from the Pioneers are playing up with one another. Xysho has 2 drops, but that torque bow ever lurking in the hands of Powers. I mean, there's just no shot you're going to be careless with your movements, especially with the way Powers is playing. And Powers has seen Xysho first. Quick pick with the torque bow attempt, missed. He's going to get the quick reload off as well. Drops it over the top, gets some splash damage. Now the help comes through. Precision with the help. Precision with the help. He gets it to go. And now TJ, last alive for the squad, has to try to scramble away and find another angle to fight another day.
Now we'll see if he can get it done as TJ is left here in a 1v2. He's going to be aggressive on the sandbags, but the way that the Pioneers is rotating, it seems like they're going to be playing around the late game heal, which could be inside the hotel or down low, the way that they position themselves. But TJ hops over the top. He's going to try to force the drop. Can't get it done. He's cleaned up. And the Pioneers will come out on top with map number 2 to get our series all tied up 1-1. And, you know, Kyle and I go back and I look at that last round. I see Powers miss the bow, but then he steps forward and he tries to go for that 1v1 and fight the drop. But his teammates so far on the opposite end of the map. There's a lot of breakdown, and we'll be able to do that one right after the break. But as you guys can see, don't go anywhere, because this series is just getting heated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League as we are in an intense series between the Pioneers and eUnited that is all tied up 1-1. We saw a fantastic control map, a fantastic execution. Neither one of these squads want to give the other an inch, but somebody has to win. We're heading on over towards the Escalation, and Colin, when it comes down to it, I think whoever can take the Vasgar can take a commanding lead in the series with momentum. But man, you know, after this last map, after the last 2 we've watched, who do you think is going to do it?
I think right now you have to look at the way Pioneers played a little bit more together in that map 2. It was like we saw the exact opposite. In map 1, eUnited played together so perfectly, shot for one another, made sure nobody was in a 1v1, and came out with a W. In map 2, it was like they took that strategy, they put it in a trash can, they set the trash can on fire, they pushed it off a cliff, and then they dropped a boulder on it. Because there were so many times TJ was getting either 2v1'd or Lancered out in the middle. They were checking him. They were body checking him. Somebody close enough to that fight to make sure that he didn't either have a true 1v1 or that he could manipulate the rest of the fights. It's why he had a struggle of a map 2. And you can do that just by putting somebody else's body close enough. He doesn't actually have to shoot TJ. He just has to be the threat. He has to be known to be there. So maybe he puts a snub shot as he comes into the area before he takes the cover, and then he just pulls Nasher or Lancer to try to have an extra angle or a different angle somewhere.
Yeah.
But every single round, they body checked somebody from eUnited. eUnited tried to do a couple of changes. Let's throw a different strat here, a different look there, and it got him a couple of rounds. But in the end, when you are getting early on aggression from the Pioneers where they get a first blood, it's hard to come back from that.
It really is, you know, especially, you know, with Acells, he was 9-1-1 at a certain point in that map after, I want to say it was 5 rounds. It was 5-6 rounds. And, you know, they really couldn't mess with him. Okay. And one thing I will say this, to be able to counter somebody like that against from you in a 1v1, you have to be constantly paying attention to their moves every round, but also you have to make some assumptions too of what you're predicting and what they're going to do to get yourself the extra jump on them to get that damage out. You know, we even saw Acells do that, you know, either predicting TJ getting aggressive and calling in for that help, or predicting which cover he was going to take in, getting that flash out just a little bit earlier for him to get the jump on him. So good job to him in that map. We'll see if he can keep up that performance of, you know, getting so many first bloods as we kick off Vasgar Escalation. At the end of the day, this map is going to be awesome, all right, with both these squads. Now, Colin, my question is for you is, you know, what is it going to take for eUnited to come out here and get the upper hand against VQ?
I'm going to be curious to see the positions they play, who they put in what spawn spot, but I'll be very curious because I've seen Demise play it once before for eUnited, and I've also seen Powers play it once before, and I'm talking about the 1v1 spot toward rivals. Especially in the second half when there's that E-hill over there, that 1v1 spot becomes that much more important. If you're going to put Powers in that, you need to just let him off the leash. You're going to have to let him loose and say, hey, man, you got to be a hungry dog. You got to play off into the yard and you got to try to get some kills. And this, by the way, is a perfect time before we forget for you to show off what's on your shirt. Because remember, Bleach for Brains did ask to see what's on your shirt, Blaze.
Yeah, Bleach, you did ask, okay? So, you know, let me just show off here because we love bringing the bangers out on stream. And today is my hero week, yeah, at least for us. And so this is mine, but Colin came in correct as well. And look at us, y'all. Come on, give me one more time. One more screenshot on it.
That's
it really is.
That's synergy right there.
Oh, yeah. All right, so for all our My Hero fans in the chat, put a 1 because, you know, me and Colin, we're just anime nerds, okay? So, you know, y'all can love us, y'all can hate us, but you know what? The nerds will always reign supreme, okay? And when I say nerds, I mean us all, okay? Gamers, book nerds, tech nerds, whatever, you know, we are all on the internet together. So with that being said, we're some of the coolest people in the world. And yeah, you know, we're going to stay fly for you guys at home.
Hey, look, I'm just a shout out to you for getting the outfits on point today. You're like, we doing it? And I was like, I'm down. I'll do it. Showed you all the options.
Yeah, I gave you a DM early this morning. I said, hey, you got the My Hero shirt? Let's make it happen. I actually got a My Hero headband behind me too as well. I forgot to put it on. I got it from the first movie. Oh, you don't got it too?
I got the My Hero lanyard from the first one. Yeah, I got the My Hero lanyard from the first one.
Well, if we go to a map number 5, I'll put the headband on and I'll cast with it, okay? We'll get really nerdy with it. Now, here we go. Map number 3, Vasgar Escalation has kicked off. First blood going to Xysho against Demise. Down low at the tank side. Left TJ by himself. And a B hill going in favor of the Pioneers. But they're in a great position for an early trip cap domination. They got a cross coming in from mid-map, but they need to be quick and get in the hill. Demise quickly off the respawn. A beautiful flank. He gets 1. It's still a 2v2. Hours misses his shot. But can him and TJ get it done? The revive came in. Kitty's out. Another revive. Another. A kill. A cleanup. The Pioneers. They win round number 1.
That secondary revive right there was so crucial. Just taking the opportunity, taking the chance to get a shot on, and then just giving up the angle. I mean, you saw it. He got a free run at both of them as they got for the pickup and still couldn't get the kills.
Yeah, Xysho cleans up, revives down, revive goes down, chunk, but left it up to Acells to get it done. And he has so much faith in his teammate there. Good job to the Pioneers. That was a fantastic round number 1 for them. They split up into a 2-2, won all their battles, and that's why you saw that quick trip cap domination come through. And also, too, I will say this, that, you know, when you run that 2-2 strategy, sometimes depending on what look your opponent gives you, it's a lot easier to rotate to a domination if you do win your fights, or if you hold off long enough for you know, your teammates to get there to you so you can use your numbers. Now, with that being said, it is going to be a B hill and A hill capture for the Pioneers, Colin. And with Kenny going down, The Pioneers, they're looking to make a dash to the Sea Hill. eUnited has to win the tank fight.
And now we see, you know, TJ, he's going to go down here, back tank. Demise is going to have to go in for that quick revive. I like that they've got him, like, shooting fish in a barrel down that hallway. But right now, what you're seeing is, once again, eUnited's putting a lot of faith in their teammates to kind of win these 1Vs, win these 2Vs. And it could come back to bite them if they can't, because you're giving up a lot of time, a lot of points, a lot of effort over to the side of the Pioneers. Right now, Pioneers with a 2-1 hill cap lead, and they have the point lead here. This is going to get interesting, though, because now you're going to have one more player have to spawn up. I'm surprised eUnited didn't try to take their advantage there and try to pressure out Precision when he first came off the spawn. Let's see what they do here in this over rotation, because they are bringing Kenny all the way across the map to help out TJ and Demise.
Yeah, Kenny's anchored here towards the mid-map. He's just trying to gather as much intel. I think he's found player 6. He may have saw player 8 as well on a mini-map, but he's going to hold his ground. And, you know, Pioneer's going to hold their ground as well. Kenny finally darts off into the mid-map to try to force the rotation, but he's trying to figure out where's the best option for a kill. They go try to isolate player number 6 as he runs back to spawn. Do they get the down? That's a great Botox shot from Acells. He sets himself up for success. What? Powers hit a Botox as well, or that was a shoddy headshot. Regardless, ultimately, the home hill of eUnited is back in their favor. But look at the time. The Pioneers, they don't need much.
Yeah, they're going to get this decap and recap, and as soon as this comes off, it's going to drop to 10 seconds. It's about a 5-second differential that they need to not let a double decap come through for them to be able to win. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, but there it is. No matter what happens now, Pioneers, they're going up 2-0, and they are going to be in a commanding lead here, and they have done a better job thus far in map 3 of shooting for each other. The control we saw out of eUnited is not what we have seen in map 2 or map 3 thus far. They've got to play better.
All right, let's see if eUnited can get this one locked up. If they can get themselves on the same page. They had a fantastic start there in map number 1. They got off behind in map number 2, and now they're starting to get off behind here in map number 3 when it comes down, especially our round-based game modes. We'll see if they can climb back in it. Gonna have a little bit of an issue with one of our players. We'll see. It may be on the Pioneer side of things. I think it's going to be Xysho, so we'll get him back in the game as soon as possible. But this may be a nice little breather for eUnited, especially after those first 2 rounds going by the way that they did.
Yeah, eUnited had a struggle. Also, that's the helmetless soldier that came out like it came out last week, but that's the same soldier that oh goodness gracious, Colin, what is her name? It was the 2 special commandos that came out, and I just can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize, because you know the 99.9% of everything when it comes down to Gears, okay? Gears lore guru through and through. But at the end of it all, gonna get Xysho back into this game now. So far here in this series, man, I will say this, that, you know, I like what I've seen out of the Pioneers over these last few rounds, and, you know, how they have really kind of woken up after that last control. We started to see them come back at the end of that control, but it just wasn't enough time left in that map. Now, so far, after the back of some big clutch plays from Xysho in that round number 1, and, you know, a nice team effort in round number 2, they're right where they want to be. Now we're going over to Speyer map number 4, which we're definitely going to end up seeing in this series. And it's a map in which both these squads have struggled on, as you said beforehand. So winning this Vasgar is going to be crucial, just to have some weight off your shoulders as we head there in that Speyer.
And that Speyer map, the reason I think both of these teams have had some struggles is a lot to do with the fact that it's so hard. Oh god, it's so hard for you to traverse the map and break into setups because of how far across the map it is. It's one of those situations
it's
where
open.
Yeah, it's wide open. Also, she's Akagi. The other one is Sanguino. I can't remember. Akagi and Sanguino, they're the commandos. They came out late in the last operation, in Operation 8, and then they released the helmetless version last week for Iron in the store.
Oh, okay. I got a lot of iron I need to use. Colin, I heard you lost an execution tournament the other day. I was kind of upset hearing that.
I struggle with execution, but you and I have talked about this a billion times. I struggle because I'm not as good at 1v1s as I'd ever want to be. And so I put a little too much pressure on myself. I press up, and then, you know, late in the game, I say, look, guys, we got to win a round. Let's throw the kitchen sink at them. Let's overload one side of the map, see if it comes away with a dub. They all voted against me. I lost by democratic vote. That's okay. I'm allowed to lose by democratic vote. I got smoked in the 1v and we lost, and we went out 7-1.
You know what? I tell you one thing.
Camper.
In execution, when all else fails, hey, overload the power weapon. Send 4, play your numbers, catch 1, and just adapt. Hit shots, use your numbers, win a round. Now, as we see heading here into round number 3, as we got everybody back into the lobby, we're going to see another 2-2 strategy from both the squads. And this is the same strategy in which both these teams ran in round number 1, but it's playing out a little bit differently. We'll see what happens once the first initial fight breaks out and who does it go in favor of.
Right here, Powers playing the backside of that pillar, trying to find the angle, but he goes down again to a little bit of Lancer fires and tries to make it across. And now Kenny by himself. Kenny's going to get angled out here. He's going to bounce down the steps. Look at the movement from Kenny, making him miss shots left and right and center, but still going down as he makes it to the bottom of the stairs. Once again, the Pioneers with a 2-to-1 hill advantage. And Pioneers, I mean, they're setting up. They're just going to hang out. They're not going to press the issue. Damage onto Powers right here is pretty brilliant because he won't be able to take that secondary fight as quickly as he might want to. The next fight is going to be maybe over this A hill. It looks like Demise might rotate back into this fight and make it a 3v2. Right now, the Pioneers are going to press a 2v1 over at B. They've already won it. Now the 3v2 is basically defensively for the Pioneers. All they got to do is come away with a couple of kills to make sure that the eUnited doesn't have a leg to stand on in the next fight. They will get the kills. They will get their home back, but I think Pioneers will get off of respawn quick enough to play defense here at B and maybe get back their home hill pretty quickly.
Enemy spotted.
And so when it comes down to it, you know, great strategy for the Pioneers to kick that one off. You know, they kind of baited Powers and Co out, and they get that long distance cross. That was precision there on top of the secondary pickup. After that down came through, they were very, very patient, and they just let eUnited make the next move like they're supposed to until they can find the opportunity to be able to get a better initial, get a better team fight for them to end the round. Now, as we're starting to see eUnited, Colin, they came off the respawn and they won these fights today, but as they're starting to make their way down the stairs, they ran into a brick wall.
They definitely did, and they're going to get all wiped away. 3 down and dead, 1 last alive over at B. And if I'm the Pioneers, I don't press that. There's no need. You're going to be up over 200 points. You're going to have it down within 20 seconds. Demise has to make a move. They've called him out now. It's going to be a 3v3 day for the round just about, dependent upon how much time is wasted. They have to get inside of the hill to try to get a decap here. Double flash, the retro Lancer of Xysho will push him back. TJ's going to go down. They get back on the A hill. 1 player is stuck through. That's going to be Powers over to C. Powers over to C. He has stuck through, in fact, but it's not going to matter. They don't get anybody on A. And ladies and gentlemen, Pioneers pick up right where they left off, and they are going to be up 3-0 in map 3. They're off to the races here.
Whew, I will say something in that I noticed that was very dominant about that round from the Pioneers is that until the very last second, no one touched the home hill at C. Okay, they allowed no one to rotate towards the top portion of the map between arrivals and helicopter through the luggage, and no one was able to get through them their tickets. Like, they had pretty much perfect defense on their home hill, and from there they just went back and forth. They knew that eUnited was gonna try to utilize that height advantage going from their home hill over to C, but since the Pioneers, they fortified on luggage, it was difficult for eUnited to have to play into their hand, and they never was able to get a player across map to that home hill when they needed to. So just great patience and composure from Pioneers that entire round, playing their numbers and just committing to the 2-to-1 hill setup. They would have played for the domination if they could, but they knew not to force it, even if they do got a 2-round lead.
Now Demise is going to push in on precision, and I like the run from Demise. He's baiting him into some fights here, trying to get that early damage onto him. Precision Hits him a little body check there. Doesn't get a chance to kill him, but there he gets pulled into the fight, and Precision hits him with a big chunk there. Gets the kill. They're trying to pressure this triple cap domination. They're going to be on the hill trying to threaten it. Here comes the smokes and the flashes. They're going to fly in, but they're going to get tagged up a bit. TJ, he's going to have to try to get Powers alive, but they're both going to fall. The mark from Precision gets the mark on one. Now the mark on two. Still fighting over the home hill. Not much time left in this one as Precision's coming up on the flank. All down and dead. Domination. Pioneers 1 round away from a 5-0 victory in map 3 and a 2-1 map count over eUnited.
I don't think they lost a single soul in that round. I don't think they did. Lost a single body. As we're looking at the scoreboard, look at him, man. Acells, he still has 11 kills, 2 deaths to his name. Multiple players got 2 deaths, okay? Max is going to be Hndles with 3, but he also got 11 assists to his name. Xysho with 13. And that +2 that he's rocking. The Pioneers, man, you can just see their teamwork on this Vasgar map, and that's gonna be one reason why you're gonna always see this one picked against them. Well, my fault. It's gonna be always a map in which they pick against their opponents, and it's gonna be tough to take them down. But we'll see how everyone evolves as we get towards our mid-split playoffs. Well, the playoffs. Now, in this round, Xysho, he's able to take down Powers. That's going to be first blood once again going over to KCP. They'll be able to cap this E-Hill and get the power weapon as a team. Back up, reset, but now they're right where they want to be. eUnited has the play into their hand.
Hey, I would say that's an old school strat, the old body check, but you know, that close to a wall, you know you'd have seen a weapon slide if this was UE. That'd have been a little weapon slide on that long shot to keep your head down and keep your body safe. But they go with the body check strategy just to keep his teammates. Yo, did Hndles just cut his head off?
Yeah, he did.
Yo, Hndles, come on now, chill out. It's just the E-Hill. Just the E-Hill, man. I love the
Acells know that he's going down. Acells with the quick revive. Hndles was on his 3rd down. Great focus from Kenny with the wrap shot on the 2nd, but he needs to be careful. Precision with a clean back A. He backs up. He'll give up this battle for F for now, but not for long, as Powers gets one bullet, misses, but holds his ground, gets some help from a teammate. They work together to clean up Xysho. Hndles next on the hit list. This could be good for eUnited to get their first round on the board. Powers downs 2. Didn't mean to take out TJ, but luckily enough, the revive comes through with Kenny, but that slows down the rotation just a bit. Now, granted, eUnited probably wouldn't have crossed the spawn from the Pioneers. They would have had to cut back to F regardless. They don't get their numbers there in time, and the Pioneers should be able to find themselves a 2nd hill once again.
I was gonna say right there, Powers was basically telling TJ, anybody can get it, all right? I'm gonna down you with the first snub, and I'm gonna down him with the 2nd. Look at the way Acells plays back. Beautiful damage. Great attempt there by TJ to try to get in the grill of Acells, but he goes down. 2v1 here on the home hill of the Pioneers. Pioneers, though, threatening a triple cap domination. 1v1 breaking out at the home hill of eUnited. They have to step up into the hill just to stop it. But the way that they kept that neutralized for as long as they did, they have slowed down the point retaliation of eUnited. They're going to take a lead here. eUnited is going to send 2 immediately over to the E-Hill. Acells is going to be checked up hard. He's going to have just a flash in hand trying to stop TJ from getting into his grill. One player coming up for the revive, gets the body shot there onto TJ, but he goes down after the reaction attempt onto Kenny. It's going to be a 2v2 possible for the round, but TJ, he's skittering over to the F-Hill. He's going to try to find himself an ability to find an angle on either of these players, try to get up into the grill of either of them, shock out. They're going to get the down there. Kenny with a snipe in hand. This is going to be big if he can get a shot on anybody. 2-1 hill cap could come back into the favor of the Pioneers. Powers, he pushes up. 1 player down. Powers with a roadie strafe. He's going to go down as well. And oh my goodness gracious, good God almighty, God blaze, the Pioneers 5-0 eUnited in map number 3. They take a 2-1 map count going in to Speyer, map number 4.
Ooh-wee. Man, I'll tell you one thing. That wasn't pretty for the eUnited fans. That was an absolute beatdown that the Pioneers delivered. Kenny, the only one on this squad, able to go over 12K on damage, but that was the minimum, I want to say. Well, it wasn't the minimum on the side of the Pioneers. That was 10K, but everybody breaking over 10K for the squad. A team effort across the board. And the Pioneers, they got to lead in this series now, Colin. And I talked about how whoever took that escalation, they needed that cushion going into Speyer because both teams, they're so on that map. But my God, I didn't think that they were going to get like a therapeutic pillow like that. That's a real cushion after that 5-0, okay?
Without a doubt, that has to feel good. The only thing that gives me cause to pause to say maybe it's not as demanding or as not as damning of a 5-0 is that last round, eUnited started to find their team fire once again. And going into control, that's what they're going to have to do. Their weak points seem to be their execution and their control right now. I mean, their execution and their escalation. So going back into control, if they play together once again, play over the hill, they've got a chance to still send this to a map 5. Granted, the last time they did that, then they played it all the way out to that final tomb. Rise took them to task on it, so this is going to be interesting. Can they not only win map 4, but can they put up a better fight in a map 5 than they did last time in their last outing in a map 5?
We're about to find out now. eUnited, they took the first control of 300 to 200. Well, we're going to have to see a team effort there on Speyer. If they're going to come out on top, it is their map pick, so we'll see what can happen. Now, doubling back here, man, I forgot I had a comment to make here about the Pioneers over these last few rounds because, man, these boys have turned up. But what I wanted to say was that when it comes down to the Pioneers, okay, it's just in the map Vasgar escalation on Vasgar. The squads who have been together the longest are usually the most dominant. Now, even though you have been a part of a dominant team that had at this game mode, like think about the old eUnited, people could barely touch them on Vasgar. It was a point where no one can touch Hive on Vasgar either. But even though you got two players who was on, both those rosters, still collectively, that does not, even though you've had the reps, it will not make you a great team on that map. You need time as a unit, as a cohesive 4, reps as a squad to get good there because that's going to ultimately equate to speed over time. And we saw a lot of that speed there on the side of the Pioneers during that last map because, there were times where they won big fights and some people would have said that, hey, they could play up for the trip cap domination, but they said, you know what? Nope, we're going to relax. We know that we're just going to win one more fight and we'll just hold our power positions and see if they can break our setup one more time before we do anything. And they always knew when to press forward, when to back down. And that comes from reps, constant reps against each other as a full squad.
Without a doubt. And I think another thing to look at it too is the genetic makeup of this eUnited team is very different from the two genetic makeups, the way that they played with those reps that they had on that old Hive, old eUnited team. With that old eUnited, you had praised one of the best 1v1 players in our history playing over on the opposite side of the map, which allowed you to get a little loose with powers up in the front with Kenny and Explosive backing him up. And then you look at Hive, it was almost the same genetic makeup. You had Inzem, who became one of our best 1v1 players in the entire circuit, and he was able to play across the map away from his boys and allowed Demise and TJ to kind of play free and clear over on the opposite side of the map. That made them so ever dangerous. Even when you had Tidy there with Hive playing the 1v1 spot, it allowed you to mix and match kind of your personnel in the way that you wanted to pressure the opposite side of the map. Now with these 4 guys, granted, you've got a couple of brilliant 1v1 players in Powers, TJ. I mean, Kenny's no slouch. Demise is no slouch. But
nope.
You think about the 1v1 players, you're usually looking at, all right, let's put TJ there. Let's put Powers there, of course. Let's give those guys a shot. But who do you put there? Who do you put the pressure on of either defending or offending that side of the map, while the other 3 are able to manipulate the opposite fight, whether it be taking over the hill, finding the right angle, getting into a position to maybe counterpunch whatever it is the opposing team does. Those are the reps that Guy Blaze is talking about. For those of you not in the know, when you change a team, but even though you're like, it's only 2 guys and you've played with them before, like Powers has played with Demise and TJ before. They're like the best of buds in real life.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter when you get into a competitive setting because they're the best of buds in real life and they've probably won a hell of a lot of wagers. But when it comes to finding setups, finding strats, and doing them to perfection, especially when it comes to throwing utilities just right, those little things take nuance, they take time, they take patience, and they take what my main man said, reps.
Reps, baby, okay? And as we talked about coming into this series, when it comes down to eUnited as an organization and the core of this team, they get better as time goes on, okay? Like fine wine, give them some time, I swear, by the time you get towards the big money tournaments, you're gonna have to put them in your top 4 conversation. And it's always been that way, you know. So, as time goes on, I'm excited to see how this squad is gonna evolve. So we're about to head into map number 4, Speyer. It's Pioneers versus eUnited, and I think the last time we had a chance to see the Pioneers play this one, they took a big L. I want to say they lost this one by like a little over 100 or so points. And you called it, Colin. Both teams, they've been struggling on this one. So one thing in which we're going to be looking for is, number one, how early you're going to rotate, because what makes Speyer so punishing is, for the most part, your opponent can see that push coming from a mile away, and they know how they want to set up on it. So you got to use the outskirts of the map. You got to use the church side, the spawns, the library to really get the pinch on these hills, because if you're flooding down the middle and those front stairs, you better hope that your teammates are at least applying some pressure. If not, you're going to get caught out.
I think one of the things, too, we have to remember is when we've seen these two teams struggle, it's like these two teams are trying, tried and true methods that you see on other maps and other matchups with the early rotations and such like that. On this one, you've got to be able to play a bit of a stouter defense late in the rounds. And early in this one, 3 straight kills go over to eUnited. Xysho is going to get 1 down, but nobody from eUnited is going to get killed. They got a clean 4-0 sweep. They have the hill. They have the drop in Kenny's hands, which is always a danger. And you have the frags. Now Powers, 1 big shot and a second back A. Xysho's going to answer back with 1. This is a great start for eUnited, and this is looking like they want to send this to a map 5 early.
Yeah, great initial victory from eUnited, and I thought it was actually going in favor of the Pioneers with the flank that Xysho has, but eUnited pressed for it. They won their fights, and now you look at the scoreboard, and this is the fruits of their labor, getting the frag grenades and the drop shot to get themselves to this point. Now, with this team fight being won, you're going to start to see them slowly shifting on over towards next. Precision is going to try to dart in that direction. Powers is going to be there to cut him off. Precision has to cut back towards the inside, and he's stuck in the open. eUnited should be able to get some free crosses from the middle. A few at least. They're going to anchor player number 6. He's going to have to watch that back lane. But so far, eUnited, a great rotation towards the next hill.
Now we see Powers already on the backside of that ledge. He's trying to play back. They've given up the neutralization over to the Pioneers. 60-5 right now as we see on the map. Pioneers playing back far enough to stop anybody from pushing up into that angle to stop Precision from having this neutralization spot. And Precision's job right here is to make sure he either doesn't get angled out or get one-shot chunked by Powers. Flash out over the top. He gets stunned, and picture perfectly done. Powers will open it wide up for eUnited to take advantage here. And I mean, my God, Powers hit him with a flashbang and then a shot from hell. It's a down on the Hndles, but it almost doesn't matter because now with 2 people holding that ledge, it's going to be almost impossible to push back into the situation. 1 flash out, now a frag for the return, and they are just mounting up points here. I mean, just making it harder and harder on the Pioneers. Frag out, looking to find a pick one up. Acells will get a kill, though. Precision finds it down. 2 dead for eUnited. And now Pioneers trying to break into this hill. I have 1 more player in their way, and that would have been Powers. They will get some time, but look at eUnited already thinking next. They say, look, this blacktop was fun, but we beat you in back-to-back games at 21. Now we're going to go have our way with this next statue hill.
All right, as we're going to be over here towards statue, eUnited, they got 2 players set up towards the back end, 1 player at church, and they're going to have, that's going to be Powers and Hndles playing together in a 1v1 across the other side of the map, where Powers will win that battle. Xysho almost got caught out with the drop shot, but he will be able to pocket it, save it for a better fight with his squad. He knows now is not the time to use it. They've already acquired 2 kills, but Powers, after winning that battle against Hndles, he gets his team a pretty good spawn. And, I like them trying to break from this angle. They're going to try to get a player in a different lane with Kenny at the front door, as he's going to lose that battle.
I was going to say, TJ here has to hit a good flash, and he has to have a good first shot. 2 pellets is not enough here to try to challenge this. Plus, Xysho is going to rotate over because of the fact that they know that Kenny's down. They have to find these respawns, and they know that they got the close respawn. So this is going to get interesting because I think Xysho needs to hold on to this drop and try to kill him as they come through that door. He's only going to get one, but that's good enough for them to now try to pressure a 2v1. Powers with one shot, goes for an up A. He's going to get taken down. Precision Lancer, picture perfect, gets Kenny as well. A lot of kills come through and a lot of points over to the Pioneers. They're getting ever so closer to tying this thing right back up.
Man, the Pioneers, I swear you can never count them out. After the last hill, they got a good amount of time, off over there at Globe to the point where they're back into this game. Now, we're going to have to rotate towards next soon. It's going to be middle map at the drop shot. Xysho finds 2 with the help of his teammate. But eUnited, they're going to lose Demise and Powers, and that's going to be a full team wipe. So Pioneers will get a chance to get the setup in which they want a drop shot in hand. Xysho will be able to capture this hill. If anyone contests the hill across from him, he'll have the drop shot to get it back in his favor and also utilize his numbers. eUnited, they're going to try at least get themselves a height advantage, contest for the nades. They won't be able to get the nades, but I like them taking a fight from this side of the map and not the typical fight of just going straight for the drop shot. They trade out the kills at the top, and this is going to be a stalemate. Kenny's going to force Xysho to have to shoot this drop.
Good active drop shot there onto Kenny. It gets the kill. 2 more players from eUnited now rotating up. Hndles quickly picks up his Lancer right back. Also, shout out one time Jacob MVPR. I don't know if you know this, Blaze. Those are his team skins. Those are the Funky Bunch skins. They're called Funky Monkey, but everybody calls them Funky Bunch.
Yeah. Well, we all know that. It's like how Dale is me when a game first dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what's up.
Not that one. Love you to death, Blaze. I'm not saying that, buddy. I love you. Not gonna happen.
Hey, we know who designed them. Now, coming out here in the next, you're gonna see the Pioneers try to fight for the back spawn, but Kenny, he's holding his ground. He also has a flash to work with. Well timed on player 2, but can't get his gun out in time to fight Hndles at the front of the fight. At this moment, it's gonna be eUnited with their backs up against the hill. Still time to transition over towards next, and Kenny has a flank.
I was gonna say, look at Kenny. They need to find Kenny quickly because Kenny's ability to break open this defensive hold is paramount. If Kenny can get any shots onto these players, there's a down, there's a second down. Now it's just up to Precision. Precision has to get like 3 kills here just to try to even it up. He's only gonna get 1 and get traded out for. I really, at that point in time, in that juncture, based on what the respawn was like, I really was hoping they would try to find Kenny and kill him off again and then try to take like a true 3v4. Instead, they left their whole entire 6 o'clock open.
And I will say that play started all the way from when Kenny went to the furthest portion of the bottom of the map, right? Where he died at was super important of him being able to make the play coming off the respawn because he had 2 players out of position and his team spread out very, very well and they stayed alive until he was able to have another impact. Both nades toss, neither connect. Xysho's up against the ropes. Precision's there with him. They both go down. eUnited clean up. 25 seconds left in the hill. Not enough for them to get the lead, but still a lot of respectable time based off how close this game is, and they won't even get it.
Hey man, why are the Dom players not just good long shot players?
Bro, I'm telling you,
I mean, they're pretty clutch. It's just Dominic Santiago.
Dom does it all. Dom supports, Dom slays, Dom wins 1v1s, power weapons. Like, forget the Barrett and the Carmines out there. Like, I got more respect for the Marcuses and the Hoffmans than y'all. Just saying. Just saying. I got more respect in the Coles than the Barretts and the Carmine.
Hey, yo.
Just saying.
Hey, yo, shout out one time Critical Kyle. The only man I've ever seen be big man on main stage is Coltrane. All right, that man went nutty buddy.
Him, Explosive, and TJ, I say, are all popular users of Cole, and I appreciate them for it. Now, as we're heading on over towards the next hill, Pioneers knocking at the front door. I like eUnited's setup. Oh, he puts away his pistol.
No, but then he knows that he has the help. It's 3v4 now. They have to hop into the hill to try to pressure Kenny because Kenny's holding this back lane. This is exactly what they did in the last one, but they had a much better retake. They flashed him out, were able to get kills. Xysho's going to get quickly revived, and they get both of the kills yet again. They somehow come away with some big clutch kills. TJ's going to get shot in the back. He's going to go down. 40 seconds left on this hill. That's a lot of time. That gets you up over 200 points and increases your lead over eUnited. This is going to be huge.
Yo, that's eUnited with a 4v3. We watched it down happen. I think it was a 1v1 towards the outskirts, but they had numbers ultimately at the end. That's not a fight in which they lose when you got players hopping over covers like that desperately. You know the play, hold it, but we got a lot of playmakers on the side of the Pioneers, and they make themselves another. They win that team fight. 14 seconds left of scrap, but they've eclipsed past it. They've eclipsed past the 200-point marker already. And now in this moment, Colin, Pioneers, as they start to try to win this next team fight, they will find a player down low. But even finding that kill, it's an uphill battle. Luckily for them, they got the best weapon for that type of scenario, and that's going to be the drop shot. We'll see if Xysho can hit his shots.
I like that Acells had the right-hand advantage, and as soon as he started to lose it, he quickly rolled out. He built enough speed and space for him to roll off and try to help maintain a right hand on that player. One frag is out. Not going to find anybody. Xysho bouncing up to the top. Has the active drop now. Going to put one in that cubby corner. Is only going to hit some damage there. Is not going to be able to get that kill. Now they get it down on TJ. I think right in front of them, they have a player kind of marked out. Powers in a 2v1, but Powers comes away with a 1. Powers still trades, but again, 40 seconds or so on this hill. Xysho's going to get pressured by Kenny just momentarily. Here comes the flash. It's going to stun him out. 2 more players into the area. Here comes the smoke, and let's see if they get loose here one time. They're going to try to push into the smoke and try to get some neutralizations, not allow them to get so many points off of this hill, because every point after that 200-point or so margin is going to be just a harder hill to climb for eUnited.
eUnited, they're split up into a 2-2, but they just disengaged at the final few seconds. They knew that it wasn't worth it, but they slowly pulled back. Now, they need to quickly identify these numbers. They will have a cross with player 8 in the middle. Power, Secret Man on his side. He's going to have help at the right time, but you're going to have Precision screaming at his team that he has 2 on him to try to see if his squad can possibly make a push down low. Ultimately, the Pioneers show that they have more composure than I probably give them credit for. They hold their ground, but they also are not threatened by a flank coming towards mid. As long as they don't got nobody on the stairs, they're okay to sit where they are. And Precision will get there at the nick of time to fill in the gap. Pioneers have this hill contested.
My man Xysho's got to be careful. He's got 3 shells left. Not 3 in the chamber. He's got 2 shots left. He's got 2, big boy. You better be careful with the shots you take, or you gonna find yourself running around with a snub.
Or a Lancer, his favorite. Precision goes down. Xysho, 1 shot left in a shotty. How's he gonna play it? He gets help in the corner, but he gets taken out. The cross from the middle is beautiful. Demise is helping with 2. A little pressure on the 3rd, but he trusts his teammate to clean up the kill on Hndles, and that will be an eUnited setup. They get past the 200-point marker with this hold, but looking at the remaining time, it's going to be 40-something seconds. I think they stay around a 2:10 mark, and then from there, they got to get a rotation across map. If Powers can win a big battle over here, maybe he overextends early, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That's a perfect frag. God, that was beautiful. Thank you, Ribs, for that angle, showing him, throwing it, looking what he's looking at, and letting everybody in the world see that you can cut that corner. You can cut that angle. Pioneers, I like this from them. They're already pulling back. They're going to pull back toward that planetarium. A minute to go for the drop shot, a minute and 10 to go for the frags. They have a full setup here. They're going to try to play defense, get 1 full set of slays onto eUnited, try to get a couple of kills here to get this initial point match on this hill and wait for that respawn to come through. 1 player down, though. Alpha, the frag grenades again from Powers. The flank, though, from Xysho. The flank has a ton of damage, but no kills. They're down and out finally. They're down and out finally. It's going to be a 1v1 over the hill, Blaze.
Xysho with a smoke over the top. He soaks up a shot. The flank comes in. Powers holds his ground. They angle him out. The kill comes through. 67 seconds left on the hill. Precision trying to make plays at the outskirts. He's going to get spotted out. A bad route. He's got to play off his right. Demise moves in, gets the kill. eUnited has ping on the last 2. They're looking straight ahead. Acells goes down. Hndles gets crossed. No revives. It's going to be up to Xysho. He gets 1. Meat Shield stops him in his tracks. 40 seconds left on the hill, and eUnited with the lead.
And you've got to try to challenge us a little bit. You've got to get, the drop shot out from Kenny. You've got to play smart enough to get the drop from Kenny, and you have a chance to get nades here. So you have one big opportunity. Kenny might be able to thread this needle up to the frag grenades. He's going to throw it over the top of the window. Missed shot there, and now he's going to have to worry about being taken down in a 2v1 situation. But once again, Pioneers backing off. They're going to give up the Lancer back over to Kenny. No shots onto him. Acells up top inside of the Sanctuary. He's going to get marked out. They're about to get pinched here. This could be dangerous sledding for them. They're going to try to pressure out Acells in the middle of the map. They get the down onto him. Inside, Hndles is trying to play up with an Asher, but eUnited shooting for one another. eUnited playing together again. Oh, so dangerous. Oh, so worthy of everything that comes their way positive. Oh, Kenny going huge. TJ on the flank, one down. TJ now trying to help out. He's going to get shots into the back of Hndles with the snub. Pioneers, they'll respawn up. It's a 30-second differential here, but 24 seconds until eUnited sends this to a map number 5. Blaze, this is going to come down to just a few solitary seconds.
They got angles, man. Even though those players at the stairs are very careful with poking out wide, because even though those guys are tucked, it's still two people looking at you with those Lancers. A great job there by Precision and Acells on that cover. Demise goes down as well as Kenny in the back. That can happen, but the Pioneers, they're going to get through. They're starting to acquire points. eUnited still has positioning at the top stairs. That's their saving grace. With players 5 and 6 there, it won't take much time for Demise and Kenny to get themselves in position. Hndles getting caught out. I love the usage of the Pioneers with the smokes on this hill. It saved them in a lot of sticky situations and brought themselves some time. But another lead change in a late game in favor of the Pioneers. A big down, a nice spread, another down. But this should equate to a cleanup. Demise with a miss roll. He'll save Kenny. Drop shot in play. 19 seconds remaining when no one's going to be able to win off of this. We'll have another rotation. Pioneers has the spawn for that rotation.
There's going to be a big drop shot fight right here. If they can, whoever wins this drop shot has the ability to probably pull this map out. 10 seconds to go with it neutralized. Still, TJ almost comes away with a kill, but Xysho shuts him down. Pioneers have 2 players already in the area. Frag into the back. Drop shot answered onto Kenny. Kills him off. Another frag out. Not going to find anybody. Pioneers in the hill. 7 seconds to go. Precision front line of the defense. He's going to get one. Demise shut down at the front door. It doesn't matter who comes a-knocking, because only death awaits on the other side. And this time, eUnited, they're not going to get resuscitated. They're going to go down 3-1 to the side of the Pioneers. And Xysho says, I hope you're mind blown, because that was simply scintillating sensational, baby.
Yeah, 18 assists for Xysho, almost 20K there for damage. The Pioneers will take this in a 3-1 fashion, and they're going to go up 3-1 in the league. That's going to trump them over eUnited. Both teams came in today at 2-1, but now the Pioneers definitely is going to have a leg up against them. What a great series that was.